700,000 children are abused in the United States annually, which would cause them to want to run away from the mental and physical pain their parents burden them with.
Hi, I'm Alyssa.
I'm Alyssa Kennedy.
I'm Valeria Espino.
And I'm Valerie Spore.
Chris McCandless took on his great odyssey into the Alaskan wild to get away from his abusive parents and the reality of life.
Through reading, analyzing, and further researching Chris McCandless, we found that he went into the wild to strictly get away from his parents and create a new life for himself.
Chris was offered a car by his parents as a graduation gift, but he turned it down.
Chris inscribed ultimate freedom on the bus. Therefore, he wanted to be free from his past.
Chris went into the wild knowing he didn't have the things that he needed to survive.
And according to his sister, his parents were mentally and physically manipulative.
His whole life, he showed traits that he did not want to follow the rules due to Chris's parents' actions such as abuse and trying to gift their children by giving them gifts and not actual love and showing affection.
Imagine you feeling trapped and neglected by the people who are supposed to love you the most. There are people all around the world who desire to escape the harsh reality that they're living. This is how Chris McCandless felt when he inscribed the words ultimate freedom on the bus while on his journey. The abuse from his parents is what forged the freedom that he urged to have. He wanted to reinvent his life in order to free himself from the chains of his previous one.
Chris McCandless went into the wild to teach himself self-reliance. As a child, Chris McCandless refused to take many things from his parents. So when he went into the wild, he wanted to take as little items as he needed. He took rice and some books and other little materials. As he was going to Alaska, he had many people help him on the way. However, he even refused help from them because he wanted to be so self-reliant. So when he went into the wild, he wanted to prove to himself that he could be independent. As a child, Chris McCandless saw multiple issues arising from his home. For example, when he was a child, his mother and father were abusive to each other. Chris and his sister both saw this and they were not kept from it. According to ncadv.org, on an average, nearly 20 people per minute are abused. Chris's mom tried to blame the kids for the husband's abuse on multiple occasions. He wanted to get away from all of this stress, therefore he went into the wild. Some people might say Chris McCandless went into the wild to commit suicide. While this may be true because he left purposely with little supplies, and he wrote to people saying goodbye, not knowing if they'd see him again. However, when he was in the wild, he tried to come back. Although he tried to come back, he could not make it across the river due to the high waters. Not only that, he wrote a SOS note calling for help, but when people found him, it was unfortunately too late and he had already eaten a poisonous seed by accident. Therefore, he did not try to attempt suicide.
Some believe that Chris McCandless went into the wild to deviate himself from normal human lifestyle. It's not normal to completely cut out all relationships, especially with his parents who were closest to him. He burned all of his money, which is not ethical for human civilization. Although he continued to write back to his sister, and along his journey, he made many friends and bonded with many people and told them that he would return. Furthermore, he continued to get jobs and continued to experience human interactions. This is why Chris McCandless went into the wild to get away from his parents and not all human relationships he had with people.
I personally relate to Chris McCandless because I come from a broken family and it's changed the way I view things today. I no longer have a strong relationship with my father, like Chris also showed traits of. In conclusion, Chris McCandless went into the wild to get away from the idealistic past that his parents created for him.
Such as when his parents tried to give him a car as a graduation gift and he did not accept it.
Chris also went on this journey to practice freedom as he inscribed it on the bus.
Not to mention, he also wanted to get away from his mentally and physically abusive parents. Lastly, Chris McCandless went into the wild to only rely on himself and not had to focus on other people.
All in all, this is why Chris McCandless wanted to free himself from the harsh past he once endured.